Alrighty. I am live again and gone because my cat is being a menace and messing with everything right when I clicked live. It's hilarious. Blurry, 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 blurry. Blurry, 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 blurry. Why so blurry? Why don't you wanna do the thing? Hey, there we go. Alright, got it to focus. My cat is being very energetic and messing with stuff on my desk and under my desk. So I'm gonna move stuff around. Hilarious that he started doing that right when I clicked the live button. Oh well. Hey. He's cute. So I'm back again, day number 2 for live streaming. Session number 3, because I had 2 sessions yesterday with this. Today I'm working on the same song I was yesterday, which is in session 2. Codenamed You're Not As Boring As You Think. It is the 4th track on the record How Can I Express Myself that I'm working on. It is sort of a pop-punkish album. I know I call these videos making a pop-punk album. The genres of this album are all over the place. This song's a bit more metalcore / punk. It's very inspired by like August Burns Red and some of the more obscure punk bands that I listen to, like Atrocity Solution. And yeah, it's a song that I have lyrics about that are kind of referring to my own feelings of myself towards like self-doubt. Feeling like I'm kind of a boring person overall. Camera dropped again. I'm a mess today. This is what I get for not using a tripod. I tried to get it to pan a little bit lower so you could see my bass, but the way things are falling apart right now, it might not be possible. Let me see if I can move these wires around a little bit. Maybe throw my cat out of here. Oh my gosh. Knocked my keyboard off the desk. Okay, you're getting out of here. I'll be right back. Sorry about the mess. Get our little hidden Nicky going. Boom. Okay, I think that's better. I actually got the camera facing downwards a little bit more, so you can kind of see the bass. I don't have my field of view wide enough to where you can really see what I'm doing. But if I sit like this, you can kind of see, I guess, except for when I'm down here, which is where most of the song's gonna be. Like I was saying, today I'm recording bass for track number 4 off this album. I might do some drum. Oh my goodness. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Okay, good enough. So yeah, track number 4, doing bass. Might do some drum program for another song after I finish up bass on this song. Just depends on how I'm feeling, if I feel like continuing on once I finish this up. This is another song where I have no idea how to play it. I've practiced a little bit before setting up this stream today, but I'm still gonna mess up a lot. It's very rhythmic. It's got some breakdown rhythms, and a very fast, punky chorus, verse, midsection thing. I don't know if I want to play full rhythm or do like a simplified rhythm for the bass. I know guitars I'm going to want full rhythm for the feel, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be a feel as I go. I might even have to redo the bass once I get the guitars going. We'll just see when we get there. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. I'll stop my yapping and work on the music, which is why we're here to begin with. Okay. This is going to be a direct lead out from track number 3. They're going to link up seamlessly. Tracks 2 through 4 are one seamless transition. Track 1 kind of has a seamless transition into 2. It's going to be like a fade out, fade in thing. But this song is going to be a direct. So if you're listening to track number 3 without album context in play, then you're going to be hit with a little bit of a jolt. Setting up some things on my other screen real quick before I get started. And hopefully my audio is a little bit better today. I messed with some of the settings as far as balance between vocal mic. I stopped doing the vocal mic through Cubase because it had too much delay and it was throwing me off. It kind of made me stutter here and there. I mean, I kind of stutter here and there anyway. I'm not very good at talking. But hopefully that will help me out. And then I turned the music down overall. That should also help with a good balance. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. That's number 3. Still learning what I'm doing here. All right, I'm going to give myself 1.5 bars before the lead in, before I start recording. Checking my DI, it says SM7B. I've swapped my DI and SM7B, and I don't feel like renaming them. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and rename these while I'm here, because it's been throwing me off. Can I rename? Yes. This will now be SM7B, which is the vocal mic that I have set up here, and then this will be my DI, which I've got my bass plugged directly into. What is it plugged into? It's plugged into a Rupert Neve Designs, an R&D DI, which that is routing directly into my audio interface on one end, and then it's routing into a reamp pedal on the other end, in case I need to do reamps. So I've got a bass directly into a DI, directly into my audio interface, which is a Focusrite 18i20. I think it's a first or second gen. It's one of the older ones. But this thing's still going strong. I got it off eBay back in 2017 for like $250. So it was a pretty good deal back then, before the 3rd gen even came out. And still works. I'm going to keep using it till I can't anymore. I would eventually like to get maybe a second 18i20, but still keep this one as it's still working. Because I do want one day to be able to record live drums. I feel like 8 inputs is just not enough. I mean, it depends on the drummer, of course. But my old drummer from my old band had a huge kit. We liked using more than 8 mics because it's just huge kit and it was fun. So what I had to do is back then I would record with the 18i20 and a Zoom field recorder for an additional 4 to 6 channels, whatever we did. I don't remember how many mics we did. I think it was like 10 to 12. And if I had 2 18i20s, I wouldn't have to do that. I could just route them together. Because it's got 18 inputs and 20 outputs, as is the name, 18i20. But it's only got 8 direct inputs, so it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to quit JabaLiving, Jabalording, and work on the music. So now if I look at this, it should say DI, perfect. That's a lot less confusing. And I gave myself 1.5 bars. This is in drop D flat. Checking my tuning real quick. I've got a Korg pitch black rack mount tuner mounted to my desk. This desk is not very, what's the word? Comfortable? There's a word for it, ergonomic. It's not an ergonomic desk because I've got my MIDI keyboard where I should put regular keys, or my regular keyboard and mouse, but it just fits better down there and gives me more desk space up top. So I'm like, got this weird little stance going on when I'm using the keyboard. So it's not ergonomic, but it's got built-in rack space, which is awesome. Even though I've only got 3 things rack mounted. I've got the pitch black on there. I've also got my 18920 rack mounted there, and then I've got a little shelf rack mounted, which has my Rupert Neve DI and my reamp box, and I think I've also got a cloud lifter on there as well. Yeah, so the SM7B I've got routed into a cloud lifter into the 18920 just to give it some more gain boost, because this mic is pretty quiet. That doesn't need the cloud lifter, I found. A lot of people say you should get a cloud lifter with an SM7B. You don't need it, but it does help a little bit. Helps with floor noise and distortion. But again, it's really not necessary. So, bass. Track number 4. You're not as boring as you think. Boom. Alright. That's it. That's all the bass for the song. No, there's just this huge long section of just guitar octaves going, playing together. 2 separate tracks. And I don't want any bass running through there. I don't know how... Like I said, I don't know how to play this song, so I'm just looking at the tabit file, which is how I write all my music. And I'll pull it over here just so we can see what we're looking at. I've got my bass track down here. This is kind of a 3-4 chord song. It's very rhythmic. And I'm thinking about simplifying the rhythms during the meat of the song, and then the intro-outro being exactly how it should be, just to match and really feel the rhythm. I know the rhythm. I haven't like been playing the song for years, so I will stop and start a lot, but that's all good. I know I keep saying I need to stop jabba-labbing, but just in case anybody's curious how I'm recording bass, like I said, I've got it in my DI, which routes to my audio interface, and then from there, I don't have a bass amp, a physical one. I do have a physical guitar amp that I use, but for bass, it's all DI and in the box. So I run a compressor. Here are my compressor settings. This is just sort of my bass template that I've set up in the past for other songs on this album that I think sounds pretty good. So I want to try to keep things about the same across the board. So this is my first compressor in. It's just sort of a light compressor that picks off peaks and hard hits. Then I go into my Neural DSP Parallax. These are my settings here. I ran with Fat Clean as a starting preset, and then I've tweaked it from there. I don't know exactly what I've done. I set this up maybe a year or 2 ago when I was doing Foundation. And I've tweaked it even more since then to fit the opening track on the album. So what you see is what it is. I've got, it looks like mid distortion and high distortion off or on. Yeah, they're all on. And there might be some things going on with the amp itself. I'm not sure. Whoa. It's interesting that it did that. Anyway, so that's that. Then I run into an EQ. I boost a little bit in the low end, cut a little bit in the mids, upper mids, a little bit more in the upper mids, and I kill off all the high end above 9K. Then I've got another Pro EQ, which is a multiband compressor at 2700 to help off with some of the more harsher mid frequencies like pick attack. Then I've got another compressor, which is a little bit harsher, but also has a softer ratio on it, so, and also a slower attack. So this makes sure we get full attack in, but kind of balances out the sustain. And then one last EQ, which is doing absolutely nothing. We've got a point in here at 2600. This exists solely because I created it in case I wanted to EQ more and haven't needed to. So it's not getting deleted. So, like I said, this is the entirety of the song. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. But I am going to clean that up just a little bit. I'm assuming all of these hits were good. Let's see here. Couldn't even hear it because bass is a myth. Nice. That's what the bass sounds like, in case you want to hear it. I think it sounds pretty thick. It sounds great with the way I layer my guitars, which I will get into that in a future session because I do not feel like setting up my guitars anytime soon. The song is in D flat minor, I believe, and mostly it runs off of those chords. So we're going to get into the rhythmic section, which again is very breakdowny, a la August Burns Red or that type of band. I've very much got the vocals inspired for this song by August Burns Red, specifically like the Rescue and Restore album. That's the album that really pulled me in. August Burns Red, in my opinion, is one of those bands where like everybody has their one album they care about and the rest are just kind of, I mean, I say everybody, I'm just kind of just saying that for now, but like it's everybody I've talked to anyway about them is like, oh yeah, I really love like Leveler, I really love whatever their older albums are called, but everything else is like, because it all kind of sounds, I'm not being mean when I say this, but to be honest, it all kind of sounds the same. Rescue and Restore is that album for me. Anything later is good, but I don't care. Leveler is really good. I like that album too, but I really only go back to Rescue and Restore. So anyway, enough talk about metalcore bands. Let's get to recording. Stop JabaLIVE and Jabalord, geez. I need to boost this in my ears a bit. Shouldn't affect what the stream hears. Yeah. I'm just kind of practicing right now because, again, I don't really know how to play this song. I know the rhythms. I'm not well versed in it though, so I just need some practice. Is that how I want to end it? Let me look at my tablet file again, just to see how this ends before we get into the funky section of the song. That's the end of the song. Yeah, I do keep the rhythm until the very end. Cool. So I'm gonna redo all of this. I'm gonna give myself 2 bars. Messed it up. Messed it up. This will likely take me a minute to get the hang of, so I'm going to keep going, but started feeling pretty good there. I missed a break on that last run, but overall it felt good. The low strings where I'm really struggling to get the stops properly. Give it a go. Little mess up there. One thing that I'm totally not opposed to down the line is I'm going to move my superior strum over here because it's in my way for a lot of things. One thing I'm not opposed to doing is copying and pasting, because this is a lot of the same thing over and over again. So I really don't mind copy and pasting if I get like a couple of these that are really good and some of them are bad, and I can just swap them out real quick, like. Especially since this is all DI, so it should all sound much smoother. My biggest issue is pick consistency. Sometimes I change the way I pick between takes. But give this another go. Zoom this out a little bit. I like looking at it. Messed up the same place I did when I first did this. Messed up that last one pretty bad, but I think I got a few good ones in there, so we'll go ahead and punch in here. I'm doing a 3-bar punch in because it gives me a chance to start playing along, so for a smoother transition. Oops. Got a long sustain here. I don't know if I like all those riffs that I did in there. I think they're okay. It's just something I was messing with when I was practicing beforehand. So I want to listen back and see how we're feeling about this. It's really tough to hear with the MIDI guitars going, so I'm going to turn those off. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of like that. I don't know if I should go full rhythm or not. It's so crazy sounding. I just don't know how it'll feel. I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it sounds like with the drums. Get my sustain going before we start again. It's just so tough to keep up that rhythm. I know I was messing up a lot there. It kind of sounded good when I was starting though. I'm gonna take a listen without the MIDI guitars again, just to see how I feel, how it grooves with the drums. I mean, I could cut it a bit and be like, that'll sound cleaner. Still got a good groove. Yeah, let's do that. I think that'll be good. It also gives me more room to kind of improv some licks in there. So let's go ahead and set up my pre-roll again and cut it. Wrong note. That's not how I want to do that. I also want to turn my MIDI guitars back on so I can listen all along so I know where I'm at. Do it again. I want to be a little bit tighter on the rhythm. I messed up a bit there. Wrong note. I didn't really like the lick I did going back into that last note anyway, so let's cut in around here. I'm not going to copy and paste everything I've already done, even though this song is very much just copy and paste of the same exact thing twice, verse chorus kind of thing. So let me check some stuff real quick, like making sure everything's going on okay outside of the stream in the real world. Cool, everything's good. Let's get back to it. Is this where I stopped? I think so. Yeah, because I messed up that one thing. So let's go ahead and punch in here. Keep the click on. Oops, almost did it again. Do better. don't really remember the rhythm I was doing for that section before. I'm gonna listen back again. I think it's just do 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 do. Dang. Reroll. I almost want to do something fun there, like. Just a little run like that. A little major run. I think that'll be cool. So I need to start back up at the end of the chorus. All right, here, I'll go ahead and cut in a little bit before, turn my pre-roll and click back on. Redo that. Oops, I was a bit behind. Note. Kind of losing it there a little bit. Hey, Warheart, how's it going, man? Welcome back. I am recording bass, as you can see, for probably the next song. I don't know if you caught any of this song at all from yesterday, but I don't know how to play the song at all, so I'm just kind of winging it as I go, which is how most of this album's gonna be. My finger's starting to hurt too, because I'm not a bassist. I'm gonna punch in here. Messed it up. Punch in here. Messed it up again. That's what I get for jumping to the major note as the root instead of the minor, because I keep messing that up. I don't know what I want to do there. I want to throw in some sort of fill, because we're getting out of the chunk of the song again, so. I think that's kind of cool. A cool little bass riff, I guess. Let's punch in here. I think we're good before then. I think I can do that better. Let's see. I think I like that one better, actually. That sounds pretty good. I just gotta get it down. Still felt a little sloppy to me. Oh, sloppy again. Still felt not great. A little timing. Timing was a little off. That was it. I think. I need to fix the drums for this so we have that little offbeat feel. I'm gonna do some edits on the drums real quick because I will forget if I don't. I think all of my bass here was okay. I'm gonna turn off these MIDI guitars because they're annoying. Starting here, originally it's supposed to go do 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 do, but I kind of like that little break. I think it's gonna add a little bit of intensity. So let's get into my drum editor. I wonder if I change this to drum maps, if it'll look better. How do I do that? I've never really used the drum maps on Cubase. I always use the MIDI. Pitch. That's pulling up my drums. I know there's a way to change the way this looks. I think there's a drop down somewhere. It's not that big of a deal though. I'm just thinking out loud, like maybe I can get a little better at this. Because I do have trouble seeing these longer held out notes, like where they start and end, and if there's breaks in between, especially if they're close like these kicks here. Or even these tiny little notes right here. It's just tough to see. I feel like in the drum editor it'd be easier to see. Drum editor. I wonder if there's a way to get this down there in the actual editor window. I'm gonna close this real quick. Settings. Why is drum editor just not on here already? I've got no hidden items. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I'm fairly certain there is a way to add drum editor down here. Oh, wait. There we go. I hate that, but there it is. This might make it a little bit easier for me to see what's happening. Okay, so I don't want this kick. Where's the kick? Which one's the kick? It's at the top. It's weird. I want the kick here. Oh, yeah. Pushing that kick here, that's gonna be so intense. Okay, I think that's just up to there, so I'm gonna listen back for a little bit. Morning, Mom. Like a true rock star, my biggest fans are my wife and my mom. Alright, we're gonna start recording there. And turn the MIDI tracks back on so I can follow along. One too many strums on that last one. Terrible. Losing it. Also, it's getting hot in here with the door closed. I'm gonna turn my fan on real quick. If I can find the remote. My cat destroyed everything when I was getting started today. Yeah. Huh. Fancy technology these days. You have to use a remote for frickin' everything. You can't just flip a switch and turn a fan on anymore. Find it. Hot in here. Oh. Okay, I'm setting my bass down for a second. And I'm gonna have to retune that because I just messed up the peg. Not my remote, but it is an alligator from Busch Gardens. Still have not found my fan remote. Oh, it's right in front of me. I'm stupid and blind. But I also found a couple things down there, so that's good. Alrighty. Now we got some air moving. Gonna need to retune my bass. And we'll get back to recording the breakdowns. You're still good. You're a little flat now. I watched the peg of this string be adjusted, and it's still in tune. I don't understand. I'm not gonna question it. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, you're way out of tune. Not that I use this string anyway. Okay. Back in business. All right, let's finish up recording this breakdown so we can move on to drums for another song. I'm gonna pick up here just in case. I'm gonna turn up my fan a bit more too. And let's do it. The low string is tough to get the rhythms on because it's so thick. Thick boy. Dang it. Oops. Had a little pause there when I shouldn't have. Every time I start to bob my head to get into it, I mess up. So I should probably just play robotically and not worry about having fun, because recording is not fun. Dang. How does the breakdown rhythm work going into the end piece? Does it stay the same with the slowdown? I think so. There's actually one less hit in there, but I don't think that's on purpose. Yeah, it's supposed to be bit. Oh boy, tempo changes that I gotta try to remember to follow. So hard to remember what the rhythm is when it's slower. When it's faster, it's just so easy to pump out, but when it slows down, I don't even remember what it is. Try again. How many? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. How many hits is that? I need to count. Or I need to do a little Michael Jackson and count out what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But I blasted out the whole time. Maybe it is full blast. It is. That's just the drums I'm looking at. Okay, looking at the bass again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So we in on an upstroke. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna play along to the tablet track. That's toughy. That is a toughie indeed. Can't even do it anymore. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What is this rhythm? Am I even playing it right to begin with? I am. Man. Once I start thinking about the rhythm, that's when I just get thrown off. Need my click track on. Okay, that felt so wrong, but I think I got most of them right. I think I messed up one. It just felt so wrong. Turn the MIDI off and let's listen to it with the drums. Let's solo the bass real quick. I can probably do some editing on this to fit it in, right? I think there was only 2 in there. Hold up. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep. There's 1 extra hit on that last one. I think I got them all right except for the very last one. Cool. I don't know how I'm gonna mute the guitars. I think that should be okay, and I'm gonna try to stick with that rhythm with the guitars when I record those. Something felt off. What's missing there? That's right. Why does it sound wrong with the drums? Is there a kick missing? I think there is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna add in an extra kick here. Make sure that they're there on all the slow parts. Because it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I want the entire slow section to have that full rhythm. I don't care if the faster part doesn't. What does it sound like over here? I should, for the slowdown, not do the rhythm. I should just do like do 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 woo. That'd be cool. I want kick there as well. Oops, that's the wrong spot. Let me change this to 130 seconds. That way I just snap to 16th. Okay, cool. That way I have the full kicks with the rhythm. I get why I left gaps for the cymbal to take the rhythm, but I want very rhythmic intensity at the end. Did I not do a third hit there? Okay, I might redo the entire slow section because I think I messed it up. Now with the kick there, I should be able to follow it a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna do a better lead in to the slowdown. Okay. Let's go in here. And redo all of that. Keep on giving it a shot. Dang it. How do I feel about the faster rhythm here? Okay, so I just need to go bing ding 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 ding. I'm gonna go up to the 8th fret. Very tough to get the feeling for this when I'm not practiced with the song at all. Biddy biddy. I should just do full alt picking. Why am I? That's what's throwing me off. Is I keep changing my pick pattern. Just hard when it's fast. I'm gonna listen to this real quick, see how it sounds. It sounds pretty cool. Let's make sure I got the rhythm right. Okay, I'm gonna redo all the slow from here, but that slide thing sounds sick. Talking too much. Throwing out my voice. Oops, messed up the rhythm that second run, but I think I got it the first time, so we'll pop in here. do all that. I got most of them right, but... Okay, the last one was bad, but everything else was great. Redo it. Okay, let's see how that sounds. I think that sounded cool. Okay. I'm gonna add in crossfades on all of my cuts, and then bass for the song's done. Yeah, we'll do a crossfade there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And when I get into like actual editing and processing and stuff, I'll make sure that all of our crossfades are smooth and no cuts and blips. That is a very common thing that happens, is you do crossfades all over the place and you forget to fix them, and then you get little click sounds. I'm going to listen to this whole song, including the long guitar thingy, just so I can feel it with the bass. Actually, I'm not going to do the guitar thingy because I don't want to listen to the MIDI, because I want to hear the bass. I think I got the rhythm wrong here. That sounds fine with the drums. How I feel about that. I'll keep it in until I do the guitars and see what I feel like about it. I'll keep that. I think that sounds good. Listen to that little lick again. It sounded off just in context. It sounded good when I did it. I think I just sloppily played. I like it, but it's not on time. Maybe if I might be able to just edit this. I don't usually when recording guitars, do live editing on the fly. I do this a lot with vocals. But on the fly edits for bass is pretty rare for me to do, but I want this to sound good and I don't feel like re-recording it. So what I'm doing is slip recording or slip editing. I can easily line up on the grid my notes, which you can see from these higher peaks and valleys here. So this, I'm gonna do some tight slip editing here. I'm gonna grab every note. This one should be a note and that should be a note. So this needs to be on the on beat. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Camera fell over. Sorry about that. That's what I get for drumming on my desk. All right. I'm not going to be recording any more bass, I don't think, so you don't need to be looking at my bass guitar. Don't worry about it. Cool. All right, so 1, 2. Do, 1. So this is on the on beat. We're going to have this one right on the off beat. So I need to move this. I played it a little early. I think this is also supposed to be on the off beat. So that was played a little early. This one's right on beat. And this one needs to be here. And then that one I already edited. So let's go ahead and do my crossfades. And if I need to do any sort of stretching for these, I will. Hopefully I don't. One thing I don't know how to do, and I wish I knew how to do, was a quick and easy slowdown of everything. I could probably add on my stereo mix, maybe I don't know what even plugin I would use for slowdowns. Maybe some sort of alter boy? This is pitch and format. I don't think this is speed. Is there any sort of like speed? There's DS or tempo, tremolo, slow. Nothing's coming up from my searches. I'm gonna check my pitch shifts again. Maybe I don't think microshift has a slowdown, does it? No, microshift just is like almost like a chorus. Pitch correct. I don't think pitch correct would do it either. All right. I don't know how to slow things down. I should probably figure that out one day because it's so handy to do in like Sony Vegas and video editing and stuff. I wish I could do it in music. And I don't think that there's anything like up here. Transpose, invert, fine tune. Yeah, I don't know. I know like with musical mode, you can change the tempo and it would stretch things out, but I don't like doing that. For some reason, I haven't like mastered musical mode versus whatever the normal one is. I don't even remember where that is, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I think if you stretch these out or something, maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea. I know that whenever musical mode turns on, it throws everything off and messes me up. But let me listen to this bass track of what I just did. Alright, it's on time now. Let me solo it. I might even pull this a little later. Just to give it like a nice little, I don't know, feel to it. Okay, one thing I do want to do actually is one of these notes is too short. It's this one. Kind of cuts off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. I might cut it about here. And I'm going to stretch this so that it fills in a bit better. And we're going to do my crossfade again. And hopefully it doesn't make it sound weird because it is such a short time period. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, what it actually is, now that I'm hearing it again, is there's a hit here and I didn't account for it in my editing. Ding, ding. I think it's supposed to be here. Let me pull this back, pull this forward, that there, and maybe that will fix it. I'm gonna put this crossfade about here. Let's see. Okay, and then I want to pull this crossfade over to here. Note how I have this hit twice now, so I'm going to cut that and then stretch this like I was saying before to really fill out this space. And then we're going to re-crossfade and listen to this again. Awesome. I think that fixed what I was hearing. Let's listen to it. Sounded good. I think I want to pull these over to the right a little bit, all of these notes, just to give it a little bit of like a breathing space. That was a bit much. It felt rushed. Let's just keep messing with these so I like how the feel is. Sounds good to me. Cool. Bass is done for this song. I'm not going to do guitars or vocals or anything like that. It's 10:30 where I'm at right now. Getting close to lunchtime. I might call it a day. I might get back on a little bit later. I might not. I'm not sure. But next up will be the drum tracks for another song. I don't know what song I want to do next, because the next track, track number 5, is Foundation. The song's already done. You can hear that on Spotify. I could do the song after Foundation. That's one of the songs I'm thinking about rewriting. And then the song after that, I want to keep musically mostly the same, but I do want to do some rewriting on that one as well. So, I don't know. I might jump towards the end of the album and do some work towards the back end. Because the very last song, it's not going to change at all. I might change some lyrics, but I don't think I'm going to change the structure or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. But we'll call it for now. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for rewatching if you're watching this after the fact. And check you out later. Peace.